Hello, YouTubers, fellow reloaders, hobbyists, collectors, restorers, antiquers, whatever else I seem to cover on my channel. I'm going to call this a response video to a video I recently did. And this video is directed at those of you who are wound so tight, you're like a 1.5 pound trigger. You are just set to go off, and go off you did. So my previous video, most recent video about the federal primers, what I paid for those, I think it was $10 a sleeve. The unique pound of powder, which I paid $50 at the store, $46 and tax, roughly $50 at my local shop. And then some heads that I recently picked up from Extreme. So the reason I thought I'd make this video is because of the comments about apparently me committing the most sinful mistake possible on YouTube, and that is misspeaking, making a mistake. And I'll start with the powder. And again, the reason for this video is when I received the comments that I received, and again, for me, this video is what I would call viral, both the video and the comments, because normally a video for me in the reloading space is anywhere from maybe 50 to a couple hundred views that I would consider, oh, people like this. This one went viral real quick for me. Again, I think 15, 16,000 views. And I don't monetize. I don't beg for subs and likes and all that garbage. If you like it, cool. If you don't, hey, move on. But there was no shortage of people who made comments, and the error of my waves was I accidentally misquoted the number of grains in a pound. I said 8,000 grains instead of 7. Oh my goodness! End of the world. And again, doesn't bother me. 8,000, 7,000, whatever. Well, when I responded in and the trouble with responses is you can't hear my sarcasm in text. You can't see a smile, you can't see a wink, and I don't use emojis for the most part, or the little smiley face stuff. So when I sarcastically say in a response, 8,000, 7,000, hey, I was only one digit off, or practicing for my accounting job, or, oh, I'm going to go work for the government, or, well, whatever. BFD, big deal. Who cares? It was a mistake. Get over it. I've lost track of how many people have pointed that error out. And to the point of, and then my comments only triggered even more, is just relax. Kind of like, the sarcasm that how many people are going to be triggered that I don't safety check this cocked pew-pew. And for those of you who don't get the humor in that, ooh, you're beyond help. So 8,000, 7,000 BFD in the big picture. What matters is how many grains make it into this little puppy for my recipe. So yes, people pointed out, oh, your calculations are going to be wrong. Well, yeah, that's true. So, at I think 8,000 grains, I was projecting 1,600 projectiles. So I did my cost per round based on that. And that was, 22 cents. I think it's actually, I want to say I said 23, but it's actually 22 cents. Again, rounding. And using 7,000 grains, the correct poundage, the correct weight, the correct grainage, gives me 1,400 bullets. So relatively negligible, percentage points. And the difference in cost per round from powder of 7,000 grains versus 8,000 grains is 0.031 versus 0.036. So we're talking about 5/1000th of a point of a penny. And this would be a lot of those. Or thousandths of this. Slice this into 5,000 little increments. Again, negligible. Who cares? It still brings my cost per round in at the same. Again, rounding errors. When you're talking about rounding out to the beyond the hundredths, into the thousands, it doesn't matter at that point. But yet it still triggered folks, and they had to keep pointing it out, kind of keep pointing it out. And what's funny is I don't think anybody reads anyone else's comments. So for the couple hundred people that had to point that out, gee, thanks. And who cares? It doesn't matter. Really, in the big picture of life, get over it. It really doesn't matter. And then you have the folks who have their preferred nomenclature. I can't tell you how many people told me these are not heads. Well, these are whatever I want to call them. So if I want to call them heads, they're heads. Or tails. Doesn't matter what I call them. So bullets, seeds, freedom seeds, projectiles. Did I say bullets? I don't remember. They're whatever I want to call them. And for those of you who understand YouTube and its ever increasing microscope of intrusion into what you say, certain things are frowned upon. So get over it. One person even said, hey, the box doesn't say extreme heads. Maybe it does. So I think I quoted Stripes. For those of you who've been around a little while, we're going to call that early 1980s. Lighten up, Francis. Again, at the end of the day, who cares what I call something? Why does that bother you so much? And I call it the keyboard warrior factor. There are people who love to comment on other people's stuff, shred it. It's their feel good. I can feel good if I'm trashing your stuff. So normally when somebody sends me a comment that's what I would consider, this was unnecessary, I usually tap on their profile to say, all right, let me see what their videos are like so I can get an idea of how they come across. And I would say 99% of the time, the people, what I call the keyboard warriors that are quick to critique and have the harshest critique of all, have zero content of their own, which I find funny. So to me, that's, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So you're so quick to critique somebody else's work when you have no work of your own to stand behind. And I'm not saying you have to have work or publish content in order to make comments, but it's usually the harshest people with the meanest criticisms that have nothing of their own to show. And my point being here is it takes a lot of effort to create content. Like I said, I've been doing this now for 7 years. And publishing a video, making the video, taking it in, editing it, doing the graphics for it, it's all time consuming. Do that hundreds and hundreds of times and you can add up to thousands of hours. And again, for the people who just sling mud, it's just amazing. It truly is. So again, hey, lighten up, Francis. It really isn't worth all of the stress that you're trying to convey, because quite frankly, I laugh it off, and that's why I make the comments I do, because I find it interesting the people who do make those comments can't handle the same attitude or tone that's thrown right back at them, and they go even deeper into the trigger hole. So for those of you who have trouble with words, I am going to take this pew-pew and these new thingy-bobs. I'm going to call these thingy-bobs. These thingy-bobs that go boom. And I'm going to go load my clip. Take care.